Good morning, everyone. On behalf of the Bombay Chamber of Commerce and Industry, I, Utkarsh Joshi, would like to extend a warm welcome to one and all. The theme for today's conclave is Shaping Maharashtra's Next-Gen Energy Solutions. As Maharashtra envisions a transformative energy future driven by technology adoption, strategic investments, and the involving role of large industrial consumers, there is a growing need for meaningful dialogue among policymakers, producers, investors, and industry leaders. In this context, we are pleased to organize this Maharashtra Energy Leadership Conclave under the aegis of the Bombay Chamber's Power and Infrastructure Committee, curated as a focused platform to deliberate on the strategic choices that will define Maharashtra's energy trajectory toward 2035. The conclave will bring together top policymakers, energy producers, industrial consumers, financial institutions, and technology leaders to discuss critical themes. I now invite Sandeep Khosla, Director General, Bombay Chamber, to deliver the welcome address for today's conclave.
Thank you, Utkarsh. Shri Vishwas Pathak, old friend of mine, an independent director at MSME, also a very powerful voice in the BJP government, Maharashtra. Our distinguished panelists, members of Bombay Chamber, Council Generals, a very, very warm welcome to all of you and a very good morning. Luckily, yesterday I was dreading, saying that because it's raining so heavily and the traffic was such a mess, we're going to have problem with the attendance. It's sunny today, and we're much better than what we expected to be. Although there is still a lot of traffic, and we're still expecting people to join in. So as we start, I think people keep on coming in. This is a very, very important topic which the chamber has taken up, which is Maharashtra energy needs. As some of my age people would realize and know that, when we were growing up, energy was such a difficult task. I briefly stayed in Thane, and Mr. Pathak was my neighbor. There used to be always no power and electricity on Fridays in Thane. And other days you had a lot of, electricity going. Today our children who've grown up, even if there's a half an hour power which goes, there's so much of hue and cry. So we are already in an era where, there's been miracles as far as energy in India is concerned. And as we go around from here, I think renewable energy and different sources of energy is something which we're talking about. So the topic we've taken is both from the end of the biggest consumers of energy as to what their perspective is, and the producers and suppliers of energy. And an interesting conversation which we then plan to have a paper which would submit to the Government of India to see as to how the chamber can help in these areas. A brief on the chamber. We're the oldest chamber in India, 190 years old, and we were at the forefront of almost everything. In 1836, when the chamber was formed, it was formed next to the Mumbai port. As we all know, that time the trade was essentially done via the sea route only. There was no land route, there was no air, of course, at that point of time. And the chamber was set up by 7 Parsi gentlemen and 7 English gentlemen and 3 Parsi gentlemen, Kama and Wadia being 2 of them. And for the next 190 years, the chamber has been instrumental in driving all sort of changes which the industry and trade has seen. We were instrumental in getting the railways to India. We were instrumental in the Mumbai Port Trust setting up. The chamber had permanent seat till 1976 on the Mumbai Port Trust board. We also were instrumental in the first postal stamp coming out and a lot of other things. So from those days till today, we're still at the cutting edge of whatever is required as far as the industry is concerned. Of course, those days we were helping almost everyone as far as members were concerned. But today, a lot of our focus remains on MSMEs. Because a lot of large companies, since the world is such a small place now, don't need Bombay Chamber or any other chamber to look at how business could be done. Of course, what is still required is advocacy with the Government of India, advocacy with a lot of regulators, which Bombay Chamber regularly does. But really, some of the trades which needs to be done, I mean, I give an example like Tata's today doesn't need Bombay Chamber to acquire Jaguar. But 50 years back, because communication was so low, everything would depend on how the chamber would interact with another country across the world. The same cannot be said about MSMEs. So today, we do a lot of work with other council generals. Couple of them are here today, 3 of them. And we interact with them regularly. There are delegations which come in. We connect our MSME members to them and ensure that growth happens. Some of these MSMEs today start looking at how they can expand their business. So that's something which the chamber does on a regular basis. So in case you're not a member of the Bombay Chamber, do become a member. We do roughly 110 of such events every year, very, very closely with both the state government, regulators and the central government. And a lot of these kind of knowledge sessions which really help gain expertise on areas which you might not be as familiar with, but also some of the newer areas. For example, last year itself, we've done some 8 sessions on artificial intelligence in different industries. And this year again, there's a lot of plan to do, and we have some of the best speakers who come in. Even if you look at the speaker list today, you'll realize we've got some of the best. So that's what attracts from the chamber. Since there's a lot of equity invested by our members, especially a lot of the larger companies who are regularly helping us in formulate whatever we do. So with that, I hand it back to Utkarsh. Have a wonderful conference and do keep it interactive so that we can know your views also. Thanks a lot.
Thank you, sir. Now I would like to welcome Venkatesh R, Vertical Head for Power Group, Bombay Chamber, and Managing Director and Director, Energy Business, Wasla India Private Limited, who will set the theme for today's event. Over to you, sir.
Very good morning. Greetings from my side also to all of you. Sandeep ji, thank you for the welcome address, and also Pathak ji, thank you for joining us in this esteemed occasion as our chief guest also. A very warm welcome to all the industry leaders, consul generals, and also the business leaders who are present here, and also a warm welcome to the industry colleagues who are here. We need to jointly build up this journey which we have taken on, and this decade's journey is more towards an energy transition and a setup which we are looking at. I myself, Venkatesh, heading the company Wärtsilä in India. We are a 193-year-old Finnish company, slightly older than the Bombay Chamber. Present in India for the last 40 plus years. Have been in the journey on the 90s, when Sandeep ji was mentioning about when the power was a challenge. For the industry, we used to be giving solutions, captive solutions, group captive solutions. So that became a solid foundation for those industries to run, seamlessly and smoothly. From then on, the journeys we have advanced towards gas solutions, and also now in the 2020s, we are looking at more energy storage solutions and also the products which can run on sustainable fuels. So they are made ready for the next generation, So these are solutions which live for 25, 30, 35 years, So we need to plan it out accordingly that whatever we are putting today will also last long for our purpose. As a background for this, it's a very important topic, and we have taken this after a few deliberations. Couple of years we were looking at should we have a separate power type of or energy type of session here, and there was a very good momentum which we have received. Normally it used to be part of infra, and infra takes a bigger step there. So now we have made also power as a major enabler, power or energy as you could think about as a major enabler here. So under that bigger umbrella, infrastructure committee, we are presenting this Maharashtra Energy Conclave 2026. So it comes up as a pivotal moment on Maharashtra when it is strengthening also its energy solutions and also the energy setup here. Maharashtra state is very important state from an industrial and commercial perspective. A lot of industries, industrial parks and developments happen here, and towards that 1 trillion journey, we are also contributing a major percent. If I may quote some of the industry secretary's terms, I think we are at around 20+%. So close to 20+% is a big amount where we have to look at and continue. So this conclave will deliberate upon with a focus on technology adoption, investment priorities, infrastructure development, and also the evolving role of large energy consumers. We are no more talking about the small players. We need, in gigawatt scale, the type of transformation what we are looking at. Renewable energy, as you would know, government has put up an ambitious target of 500 gigawatt plus non-fossil fuels, and our target of achieving 50% non-fossil fuel has already achieved 3 years before in time. In 2025, we already achieved that, and it's still growing. Last year was a target year where we put up 50 gigawatt plus of renewable energy into the system. So all these comes up also with a different perspectives. We need to see also, most importantly, 3 areas in that, which would be also a focus of this particular session. The 3 areas are energy security, affordability, and also the decarbonization, which is very important. Whatever we are talking about need to be sustainably strong and sustainably going. And what we have seen, all the developments which are happening, they need lot of power. If you take about the recent developments like data centers, green manufacturing, any of the digital developments which are happening. Nowadays, every company needs for its existence more digital solutions, all runs on data. As they say, data is the new oil and data needs power. As we have analyzed, most of you also know, many of the data centers, close to 40 to 50% runs on the power. If the power is there, the rest of it comes up, and then can live in a sustainable way. For that, India is geared up, and we have a lot of potential to also enhance that and get that benefit out. So this future demand meeting will require a lot of investments across generation, transmission and distribution, and also storage infrastructure. We may hear from also our esteemed chief guest here today more on that, whereas he's heading that particular group of companies within Maharashtra. What we also need is a elaborative and consultative collaboration, where we need collaboration to work together. Independent solutions are important, but we need to develop the ecosystem to make this more sustainable. So there, we need also coordinated approach from policymakers, regulators, utilities, and also technology providers. We need to work together with also the investors and the solution providers who will also set up these solutions in the country and also in the state. What we would need is also 2-3 aspects. We have a national energy policy draft which has been released out in 2026. We have all been reviewing that and looking at that. That brings up 2-3 important elements. Emphasis on resource adequacy and reliability. Grid reliability need to improve. When solar comes into or wind comes into place, they will go off the grid within a few seconds. How will this be matched up with flexible solutions? How will it be matched up with solutions which are more able to take it forward in a bigger way? We need to also look at electricity markets with flexibility. We need bankable revenue models also, because all these solutions will only fly when there is a bankable revenue model behind it. And we need to choose technologies which are more future-proof. So there, innovation comes into play. Some of the solutions which are already developed globally, we can easily adopt. And we need also this partnership, private plus government partnership together to build this up, because we cannot expect everything to be done by government. They will set up the policies and the structures for it. Together with the investment partners, we need to bring that up. There will be a few panel discussions here. There will be also senior leaders who will be giving their perspectives on it. So utilize the day and bring up also the effectiveness and collaboration, as Sandeepji was mentioning. We will also look at how the largest energy consumers are playing here, and also who will power the Maharashtra in 2035 towards that direction. So we are sitting up on 2035 and beyond towards the 2047, which we have set up as, and towards the bigger picture of 2070 for net zero. So as a conclusion, I would say this energy leadership conclave will provide us a platform for informed dialogue and also for collaborative actions among our key stakeholders, and insights and recommendations would be coming from different corners, and we will take that up and then bring it up as a paper, as the Chamber DG was mentioning. So again, wish you all a very good day ahead, and a collaborative and engaging discussions is what we are looking forward to. Thank you and have a nice day.